And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of the Inland Empire, right here in sunny Southern California, it's Robert Cardoza Live, where we talk about politics, money, and you. This is the intersection of business and politics. And now here's your host, Robert Cardoza.
And welcome aboard. I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to the intersection of business and politics right here on Robert Cardoza Live, where I do an honest, unbiased analysis of the issues confronting you today that affect the decisions that you're going to make for both your personal and your business life. I come to you every Monday through Friday on Spreaker Radio, Roar 1776 Radio, and MyCast Live Radio from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We're also on 405 Media Radio every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Time. And then catch us on the Pundit Press, PNN Talk Radio, and SHR Media Radio with the Conservative Syndicate Mondays and Fridays from 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And that's in addition to countless terrestrial stations worldwide. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Podomatic, and YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com for archives of all my radio and television shows. You can also access my show live right from my website each day, simply by clicking on that little icon labeled Listen Live. Email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. That's where I get all the emails I deal with here on the show. And you can call into my show if you want to comment or just engage me in conversation about anything. Dial directly into the studio at 909-545-6516. Again, that number, 909-545-6516. Now, today's show, we're going to discuss what's in the news, new legislation the IRS loses, and I'm going to answer your emails just like I always do. Well, on today's special segments, John Matthews and Joe Hakos, join me on a simulcast of the Conservative Syndicate, and right after that, John Hanson, that little old wine drinker, he'll be with me talking about food and wine. But right now, I want you to stand by for news. But first, I want you to know that at 3:02 p.m. Pacific Time, it is currently 57 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, you know what? I want to talk to you right now about the 10 things that you need to know for Monday, your daily look at late-breaking news, upcoming events, and the stories that will be talked about all day today and tomorrow. And first up, the French far right collapses in a regional elections poll show. You know, Marine Le Pen anti-immigration party fails to win a single region in the latest balloting after dominating the first round of voting following the extremist attacks in Paris. And how Obama hopes to allay terrorism concerns? Well, the president plans to meet with his National Security Council on Monday, or today I should say, then give a public update on the fight against Islamic State militants to start a week of security-related events. And in ramp-up to the debate, Trump defends a proposal to bar Muslims. The GOP presidential candidate emphasizes that his ban on Muslims entering the U.S. would be temporary. Well, where gun laws have expanded 3 years after Sandy Hook massacre, Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, and some other states have made it easier to obtain guns and carry them in more public places. And fifth item up on our news is what's helping to drive China's push for climate pact. Well, China's advocacy for a global warming pact was due in part to its own need to solve serious environmental problems, including air pollution woes. You know what? If you haven't been to China in a while, I got to tell you, it's like driving in a fog. And next up, who's feeling vulnerable amid anti-Islam backlash? Well, across the United States, Sikhs are binding together with Muslims to defend their respective religions in the wake of the Paris and California attacks. And police say a man was shot by L.A. deputies and he was holding a gun. A black man who was fatally shot by Los Angeles deputies kept holding a pistol as he lay dying on the ground, authorities say. Well, Saudi voters elect 20 women for local government seats. It marks the first time in the country's history that women cast ballots and ran in elections. Well, Taylor Swift is releasing a live concert special. The 1989 World Tour Live will be available free for streaming for Apple Music users on December the 20th. And finally, the Morbid Anatomy Museum Holiday Flea Market offer frightful gifts. As stocking stuffers, the Manhattan Emporium offers pieces of human skulls, muskrat jaw jewelry, and two-headed stuffed birds wearing Santa hats. Well, you know what? Let's get a little more in-depth here with the news. First up, let's talk about the climate deal. Obama sees a legacy that he hopes won't be undone. For President Barack Obama, many of his victories have been tempered by harsh reality. What he's built up, the next president or future Congress could one day tear down. Obama is counting on the Global Climate Accord to be the exception that allows him to leave a lasting imprint on the planet, even as his opponents are working to whittle the deal away. Getting nearly 200 countries to sign a carbon-cutting pact seemed a remote possibility just a few years ago, and the agreement reached in Paris marks one of Obama's most significant diplomatic achievements. A capstone to Obama's efforts to curb emissions at home, the pact sets up a permanent system for ratcheting down pollution that Obama hopes will finally put the world on a path toward averting the doomsday scenario of unchecked global warming. Yet, the response may be giving the president a bit of a whiplash. Just as he's being collectively cheered by environmental groups and foreign leaders, he's derided by opponents at home who say the accord should be summarily thrown out despite its support from nearly every country on the planet. Wow. Go figure, right? Is everything he does wrong because it's him? I wonder. You never know. You just never know. Well, Americans want to get tougher with the Islamic State. After terrorist attacks at home and abroad, more Americans are ever but still less than half support sending U.S. troops to fight the Islamic State. According to a new Associated Press poll, a large majority also want a clearer explanation from President Barack Obama about his strategy to defeat the group. The percentage of Americans who favor deploying U.S. troops to fight IS militants has risen from 31% to 42% over the past year in an AFP polling, although it isn't clear whether those respondents favor a small contingent or a larger ground force that might engage another protracted Middle Eastern war. Other national surveys in recent weeks have found similar or greater support for American ground troops. Now, you know what? Don't go away, because when we come back from these commercial message, I'm going to talk to you about Trump is at center stage, but Cruz, he's in a spotlight at the GOP debate. I'll tell you all about that right after these brief messages. Please don't go away. We'll be right back, folks.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're talking news, and right off the top, Trump is at center stage, but Cruz is in the spotlight at a GOP debate. Donald Trump will be standing at center stage, but Ted Cruz will be in the spotlight at Tuesday night's Republican presidential debate. The Texas senator is challenging Trump's lead in the kickoff Iowa caucuses, and he has the money, campaign infrastructure, and conservative appeal to compete deep into the GOP primary season. Those assets now make him a target for his rivals, most notably Trump and Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Trump and Cruz have been getting along for months, and that has protected the senator from the harsh criticism the businessman has flung against other opponents. But signs of a split have emerged in recent days, with Cruz appearing to question Trump's judgment at a private fundraiser, according to audio obtained by the New York Times, and Trump calling Cruz a little bit of a maniac. Looks like Ted Cruz is getting ready to attack, Trump wrote on Twitter last week. I am leading by so much he must. I hope so. He will fall like all the others. Will be easy, he says. Another intriguing dynamic in Tuesday's primetime debate in Las Vegas involves Cruz and Rubio. Both are first-term senators and Cuban Americans who see themselves as alternatives to Trump, who has baffled Republican leaders with his political durability. Well, we'll see what happens. Lots of talk, lots of things going on when you're dealing with that. Well, let's deal with something a little less popular. Bergdahl. Yep, Bergdahl's to face desertion charge in general court-martial. Army Sergeant Bowie Bergdahl, who was held captive by the Taliban for 5 years and freed in exchange for 5 detainees in Guantanamo Bay, will face charges of desertion and misbehavior before the enemy in a general court-martial, the Army announced just today. If convicted, Bergdahl could get life in prison on the misbehavior charge and up to 5 years for desertion. He also could be dishonorably discharged, reduced in rank, and made to forfeit all pay. Bergdahl, 29 years old, of Haley, Idaho, walked off his post in eastern Afghanistan, Paktika province, on June 30th, 2009. He was released in the prisoner swap in late May of 2014 that touched off a firestorm of criticism, with some in Congress accusing President Barack Obama of jeopardizing the safety of a nation for a deserter. A date for an arraignment hearing at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, will be announced later. Well, next up is the Associated Press says global supermarkets are selling shrimp peeled by slaves. Yeah. Well, every morning at 2 a.m., they heard a kick on the door and a threat. Get up or get beaten. For the next 16 hours, number 31 and his wife stood in the factory that owned them with their aching hands in ice water. They nipped the guts, heads, tails, and shells off shrimp bound for overseas markets, including grocery stores and all-you-can-eat buffets across the United States. After being sold to the gig peeling factory, they were at the mercy of their Thai bosses, trapped with nearly 100 other Burmese migrants. Children worked alongside them, including a girl so tiny she had to stand on a stool to reach the peeling table. Some had been there for months, even years, getting little or no pay. Always someone was watching. No names were ever used, only numbers given by their boss. Tin Nyo Win was number 31. Pervasive human trafficking has helped turn Thailand into one of the world's biggest shrimp providers, despite repeated promises by businesses and government to clean up the country's $7 billion seafood export industry. An Associated Press investigation has found shrimp peeled by modern-day slaves is reaching the United States, Europe, and Asia. Wow. You know what? I don't even know what to say about that. I love shrimp, but I don't know that I'd want it at that cost. I think that's just horrific. Well, here's another Associated Press report on slave-peeled shrimp. It spurns a call for a boycott. U.S. officials and human rights activists call on Americans to stop buying fish and shrimp tied to supply chains in Thailand, where the Associated Press has found slaves are forced to work in the seafood industry. All of us may find ourselves eating a slave-made product without knowing it, but once we know it, we all have a moral obligation, I believe, to make a personal decision to boycott it, said New Jersey Republican Congressman Chris Smith, a member of the House Foreign Relations Committee. Well, you know what, Chris? I'm with you. I agree, 100%. Well, fatal police shooting in Los Angeles suburb was different from the others. When deputies confronted a man carrying a handgun in Los Angeles suburb, the fatal shooting that unfolded was notably different from other recent flashpoints in the debate over police use of force. The suspect was armed and in an area crowded with people. Friends and relatives of Nicholas Robertson quickly questioned the police tactics that led to his death, particularly why officers fired at a person who was apparently moving away from them and why they kept firing even after he crumbled to the ground. But law enforcement professionals said today that the shooting did not immediately appear to share much, if anything, in common with other police shootings that have resulted in criminal charges against officers. Robertson was killed by officers Saturday after witnesses reported seeing a man firing a handgun into the air 6 or 7 times and briefly going inside a car wash and a pizza parlor. Video of the shooting released by the Sheriff's Department the next day showed deputies firing at Robertson more than 30 times. A close-up image showed him stretched out on the pavement holding the gun. Wow. You know what? That's just, all you can say is that's just sad. That's the way it is, right? Well, don't go away, folks, because when we come back, we're going to do the IRS loses. And the first case that's up is when salary is deemed to be a dividend, payroll tax needs to be refunded. And I'll tell you all about that right after these brief messages. So please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Oh yeah, here we are. My favorite part of the show, the IRS loses. You know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's just get right to it. First case up is when salary is deemed to be a dividend, payroll tax needs to be refunded. Well, here's the case. The IRS and tax court held that the salary paid by a corporation to its owner was excessive. Therefore, the company's deduction for it was disallowed. When the IRS submitted its calculation of tax due as a result of the disallowed deduction, the company and its owner protested that it didn't include a refund of the 1.45% Medicare payroll tax that each had to pay on the salary. The IRS said that the tax court does not have jurisdiction over payroll tax disputes, so it cannot order a refund of those taxes. Well, this is what the tax court ruling was, whereas here, in an income tax case, payroll taxes must be recomputed to reach the correct tax result. The court does have jurisdiction, and the refund is absolutely ordered. Not only is that refund ordered, but there's interest on it and the attorney fee necessary to collect it. That's the way things should be. The IRS is not allowed to take advantage of anybody, just because they think they can make the rules to suit themselves. That's just not the way it ought to be. That's the way I see it. Well, next case up, the IRS loses. Death defeats a levy on a lawyer's bank account. Where do you hear this? An attorney died while still owing back taxes. Now, a state court then ordered that his business bank account be distributed to clients for whom he had held funds and to trustees named to terminate the affairs of his law practice to cover their necessary costs and fees. But before the bank made the distribution, the IRS issued a levy on the account. Now, this is what the court said. After this state's court order, the deceased lawyer had no interest in the bank account and its funds, which now belong to his clients, creditors, and the trustees as fees. Therefore, there was nothing for the IRS levy to attach to. Again, they try to flex their muscles because you know why? Yeah, they're the IRS. Here's one more case the IRS lost. A bar's licensed owner should not be treated as the owner. Here's the case. Charles Manny wanted to purchase a bar, but a felony conviction kept him from obtaining a liquor license, so he reached a deal with his friend Ray Monk, who bought the bar, obtained its license, and opened business accounts for it in his own name. Now, Manny then ran the bar as Chuck's Place, and Monk moved 200 miles away. Manny paid $2,500 a month to Monk that Monk treated as rent. Now, here's the snag. The IRS audited Monk and said he was the bar's legal owner and taxed its income to him. Now, this is what the court said. The monthly $2,500 payment did not vary, ever, indicating it was rent, not profit sharing. In all other ways, Manny and Monk acted as tenant and landlord, so the bar's income was not taxed to Monk. And that's exactly the way it should be. You know, it should be fair for everybody, you, me, and I suppose the IRS, but I'm not so interested in them so much. But right now, let's talk about inside the IRS. You've heard me talk about being a fly on the wall when the IRS is doing stuff. That's where we're at right now with this segment that we call Inside the IRS. Yeah, you know what? The IRS is an awful lot like the Twilight Zone. But you know what? Let's talk about this first. Just suppose that you haven't filed your tax return for several years, and the IRS sends you a letter saying that it wants to audit you. Here's your best approach. Retain a knowledgeable tax attorney to contact the IRS agent and say when the agent can expect to receive your delinquent tax returns. A date for the audit can be scheduled at that time or a new date if an audit had already been scheduled. Next, retain an accountant to prepare your tax returns absolutely, perfectly, correctly. Now is not the time to take aggressive tax positions, but to be careful now. Do not call the IRS agent yourself to explain why you have failed to file. The admission could be used against you if the IRS later decides to prosecute you for a tax crime. And you certainly do not want that to happen. That's a given, guys. You don't want that to happen. Let me give you one more. Charitable contributions made to an organization cannot be earmarked for the benefit of a particular individual. Now, you know, a common but technically not allowable practice for a church or a synagogue to raise money to benefit a member who has suffered a tragedy? Here's a better approach. Donations to the charity should be solicited for general purposes, but can then be used by the leadership as they see fit, including to help a specific family or individual congregant. Now, special exceptions based on a recent IRS ruling, donations solicited for families of firefighters and emergency personnel in the line of duty are going to be exempt from that ruling. So kind of keep that in mind when you're doing these things. That's kind of where you want it to be. You know what? You got to use common sense, and you certainly always want to try and help those people that need it. Well, did you know, let's give you a little bit of tax news that you should know about. Did you know that you can now apply online for a payment agreement to deal with overdue federal income tax? 3 options to choose from after receiving a balance due notice from the IRS. Payment in full within 10 days with no interest, penalties, or fees. Payment in full within 120 days, interest and penalties, but no IRS fee. Or a monthly payment plan, interest, penalties, and a $43 IRS fee, which is added to the amount that's owed. Now, to apply, just go to the IRS website at www.irs.gov and use the pull-down menu under I Need to Select and set up a payment plan. You know, that you'll be glad that you did it that way. Everybody will be glad you did it that way, especially you and your family. Now, do not go away. When we come back, we're going to be with our own John Matthews, Joe Hakos, and me. We're going to be doing a simulcast of the Conservative Syndicate. We do this every Monday and Friday. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics, where at 3:33 p.m. Pacific time, it is currently 55 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way down to 39 degrees. It feels like it's eastern weather out here, but it is beautiful. You know what? Coming up in just about a minute and a half, we're going to be with our own John Matthews and Joe Hakos, and me. We're going to be doing a simulcast on all of my stations and all of their stations on their segment called The Conservative Syndicate. You know what? While we're waiting, let me talk to you a little bit about some tax news. Let me tell you about a Social Security tax is increased for high earners. Now, the wage base for which Social Security portion of the FICA and self-employment is figured will increase this year to $97,500 from $94,200. Now, for an employee with income at or above the wage-based limit, it means both the employee and employer will pay an additional $204.60. Self-employment individuals will pay an additional $409.20 in self-employment tax, which is just both the employer's side and the self-employed side. Now, the good news, Social Security benefits go up by 3.3%, and beneficiaries who continue to work must still contribute to the Social Security system via FICA and self-employment tax. So hopefully that'll keep you going. Now, my good buddy John Matthews and Joe Hakos are going to be calling in here any second now. Matter of fact, it should be about 10 seconds from now if they're on time. You know, a lot of times what happens is in the coordination we run a little bit late. We're not sure how these things are going to go for us, but we try to make these things happen on time. In the meantime, I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I know that I did. I spent most of the weekend, had a little bit of a party on Friday night, and then on Saturday, my wife and I stayed with stayed with them. They stayed with us. My grandkids stayed with us. We had a great time. And then yesterday, went out to a recital for my grandson Johnny, and that was fantastic. Got back about 9 o'clock or so, and my wife and I just kind of crashed, and that was what was going on there. So it looks to me like John is kind of holding his own here. I'm not sure why he hasn't called in yet. He should be calling in any minute. But I'm beginning to wonder if he's going to call in at all. It seems to me that maybe what I ought to do is just go into another segment here, just to make sure. There he is, and we're with our own John Matthews in the Conservative Syndicate. Hey, John, how you doing?
All right. We were just having some fun here. We played an interesting clip just before our break here of the testimony of the deputy controller, or what do you call it? Yeah, deputy coordinator for the Department of Homeland Security, in which she could not answer a single question she was asked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we were just talking about that. But we're guests on your show today. What is it you want to talk about?
Well, you know what? Let's talk politics, John. What do you think?
Well, what I'll do, Joe's got some really good remarks that he wants to make about it. But basically what it was is it was a 5-minute clip that we played.
Oh, really?
And Rishi, I think her name is, and she is the deputy coordinator for the Department of Homeland Security, and she was speaking in front of a committee on the visa waiver program. And so they were asking very specific questions. Can you tell us how many people are here? Can you tell us how many people have overstayed? Can you tell us how many people have traveled to other countries? And he just went down this list, and a single response was, I don't have those numbers. I don't have those numbers. I don't have any. And he goes, well, what are you doing here, basically? She goes, well, I'm here to testify about the visa waiver program. He says, well, that's what I'm asking you about.
You know what? Yeah, go figure, right? Hey, you know what I wanted to ask? Yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you about, or just kind of touch on a little bit, and I know you're going to be talking about it, I think, on your show the rest of the week, and that is this contested Republican convention that may be taking place, in Cleveland, and I'm thinking that a lot of people don't understand. They're thinking that it's a choice that the GOP is going to make, and it's really not that way. It's part of the rules, and I was hoping that you might be able to enlighten my listeners about that.
Oh, I can do that. Let me do my part real quick, and I'll have Joe explain to you actually what a brokered convention is, because he's really good at explaining it. But what we've been doing, what I would say at this point, we started talking about this on our show 3 months ago. We started talking about the splitter strategy, in which the establishment was trying to set up the primaries in such a way that regardless of whether Jeb Bush won on Super Tuesday or not, he would still be the last man standing because of his money. And when the delegate situation goes from proportional delegates on Super Tuesday to winner take all, and the idea being that at that point in time, when this was first designed, Bush had the most money to survive it. The object of the game was you would drain everybody else's campaign funds. That's not worked, because Ted Cruz has been able to get as much money, probably even more now, than Jeb Bush. And, of course, Trump has his own money. And Ben Carson has been able to keep up, so that it kind of threw a wrench in their works. But the object of the game here being if they can't get it honestly by changing the rules, the other thing they're talking about is redistricting, trying to redraw districts to get the vote more in the favor they want. But then there's the idea of a brokered convention. And, Joe, I'll turn it over to you. You can explain what the brokered convention is.
Okay, the brokered convention is normally what's happened. It's what we've seen in recent history for quite a while now. Is normally by the time they get to a convention, a candidate has enough delegates to win the nomination before they ever get to the convention hall. And what happens in a broker convention, of course, they'll have a ballot. And even when they have enough votes like in recent past, for the candidate to make it, they still they hold a first ballot. And that's what you normally see. And that's when all the balloons come down and all that other fun stuff. But in a broker convention, what happens is nobody has enough votes to win to win that convention, to win the nomination of their party. So what they do is they go through the procedure to have a first vote. No one wins. And then they have a second vote. Of course they're going to have a second vote because they have to have a nominee. And that's when all the really fun stuff happens, because then in most cases, the delegates that were tasked and had been privileged enough to go and support one candidate can go ahead and cast their votes as a delegate to whoever they want to. Yeah, and that's when all the fun starts.
And that's where that's where the controversy really starts, right? Because they have to have, I don't know, what is the percentage? Is it 60% of the delegates that they have to garner the nomination?
Oh, hold on a second. I'll get you the figure.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, you know, it's laying out a lot of controversy because, you know, the super negotiator is already out there doing that, making threats against the GOP and about being fair or not being fair. And John, you know, ring in anytime you want, but basically it's going to be that I suppose if Trump doesn't get a fair deal and if the GOP tries to pull some shenanigans to get who they want in rather than the front runner, that Trump is going to wind up going to a third party and he's going to take a majority of Republican votes with him, which would cost the GOP the White House for certain. What do you think?
Well, of course it would. Here's the number. Here's the number. It's a 50 plus 1, so you need 50% plus 1, and that would be 1,236 delegates.
Wow.
It's important to note here that 50 plus 1 is one of the rule changes. That was not, I do not believe that was held in past election cycles. It was like the guy that had the majority took it. But now they've changed it that you've got to have a majority. And in 8 of the states, or if you don't have at least a majority, meaning 50 plus 1 in 8 of the states during the primary, those delegates are null and void. They don't count for anybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's what you need to. What you really need to watch out for is after March 15th, when the primaries after March 15th are all winner take all primaries. Before that, they're proportional, where if you got 3%, you got 3%. If you got 10%, you got 10%. They were given out by proportion. Now what you need to know is after March 15th of next year, that's when you have to look out for them being the state Republican Party committees fudging the rules and trying to hand out some delegate counts and delegates in a proportional manner when they originally were scheduled to be a winner take all.
So, Joe, are delegates then apportioned according to population of the state, or does each state have an equal number of delegates?
That's all up to each state how they proportion that out. That's up to each individual state's party, Republican Party, how they divvy those things up. That's all, and they make their rules, so that's how they do it. But that's all, and that's what's so confusing about it, because you have 50 states with 50 Republican parties in it, so you're going to have different rules for each one. And it does go, you know, like I said, the Super Tuesday ones there in the beginning of March, and then you had the 15th of March, and after that, it's all winner take all, supposedly. And you have some fairly large states out there, and I think California is the last one to go, and obviously that's got a lot of delegates in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think you misunderstood the question I was asking. Is how do they determine how many delegates each state gets? Is it by population?
Oh yeah, the delegate count is, I believe, based on the population of the state. I believe. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's by the population of the state, but it's all meant to be confusing. Actually, it's on purpose.
I believe that. You know, a camel is a horse that was built by a committee, and that's kind of what the GOP is doing right now.
Yeah, and that, and it's funny that we're hearing, and that's very perceptive of you to pick up on this, Bob. Is you're hearing about a brokered convention way before the first ballot's even been cast.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of sets you up for, hey, we've known this all along. It's going to be like this. So all summer long, that's all we're going to hear about, because they're setting it up right now to make that happen that way, which is really, really telling. It's like, really? If this was Jeb Bush was at where Donald Trump's at, I guarantee you would not hear a thing about a broker convention.
Right. They're using the leftist tactic of leaking it out early, so that at some point in time in the very near future, it becomes yesterday's news and nobody gets upset about it. Everybody just goes, you're going to have a lot of the conservative base just throws their hands up and go, yeah, here we go again.
Well, wouldn't you, what? I know we had to go on a commercial break, but when we come back, let's talk about how really exciting that could be. We'll be right back with John Matthews, Joe Hakos, and the Conservative Syndicate on our simulcast right after these brief messages.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live, and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses: website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino.
It's interchangeable. John McCain can be a conservative on war situation when he's a war hawk, but he's a moderate when it comes to Obamacare. And so then those of us who would oppose Obamacare, we are the conservatives, because now it's being branded as being extremist. So the word is interchangeable. The idea is just like, I was looking at something the other day where they were talking about the top conservative presidents, and George W. Bush was on that list. I'm saying, in what universe was George W. Bush a conservative? Well, when it came to war policy, yeah, perhaps he was. Everything else, no. He's one of the ones that was one of the major architects that brought our country into the deficit that it's in today. So this whole idea of John Boehner being a conservative or Mitch McConnell being a conservative, that's bunk. It's humbug. Let me use a seasonal phrase. It's humbug.
You're being like a little Scrooge, John. Matter of fact, I saw a picture of you guys recently. It was a video of you guys, and I didn't realize that either of you were musically inclined or could dance so well.
It's rock, dude.
Well, I didn't know you had a musical side to you, Bob.
Well, I was pounding the drums, buddy. So for those people that don't know what the heck we're talking about, John sent out a conservative syndicate video and had Joe, myself, and John, and I'm sorry, help me with the other person, John. Taryn. Yeah. And we were all doing kind of like a rock around the clock. We were playing guitars and horns and drums and wearing these hats and dancing, and it was just funny. Matter of fact, I sent mine out I resent that, John, to everybody. I got comments like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I know. It was a nice little jovial thing. We picked it up on Jib Jab. And it's just a beautiful little piece. I looked at it and I said, yeah, let's do that. We've got enough people on our show, and we're all funny enough and laid back enough that we could do something like this and just have some fun with it. You can see it on our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, or you can see it on Bob's website, robertcardozalive.com. I'm sure. I hope you put it there, Bob.
I not only put it there, but I've got it on Facebook. I've got it on Twitter. I've got it on YouTube. I've got it everywhere. I send it to everybody. Hey, John, take a few minutes and talk about the Conservative Syndicate and your show.
Yeah, you can go to our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, and you can pick up all our archives there. You can pick up segments where Bob is on our show. Bob will be on our show Friday. We came on today on his show. He'll be on our show Friday. And we'll be doing, coming up the week after next, we'll be doing our top 20 liberal, top 20 conservative quotes for the year. Understanding, of course, that some people on the Republican side will end up on our liberal list because they can't tell the difference anymore.
Hey, guys, have a great show. The rest of your show. Have a great week. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right. You take care.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Okay, guys.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California, wine-making companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, & Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, & Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4 p.m. Pacific time, currently 55 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, sunny, but it's cold. It's going to go down to 38 degrees. But you know what? Waiting in the wings, my good old buddy John Hanson. Let's get him introducing in here.
And they ask, who's a fool in the corner crying? I say, a little old wine drink of me.
And now, from the middle of a vineyard somewhere, a man who's never met a grape he couldn't cuddle up to, our resident advanced sommelier, John Hanson.
Hey, John, welcome aboard, buddy. Good to have you with me, with us, today. And I'm kind of wondering what you did for the weekend, because, boy, I'll tell you, I had a great time. We had some friends over Friday night. Matter of fact, you know them, Don Armstrong and his wife, Judy.
Oh, absolutely.
And Bruce Forge and his wife, Linda. We have an annual Christmas thing, and this year we got stuck with it. Oh, I shouldn't say stuck with it. We had the privilege of having it at our home this year, and that sounds a little better, doesn't it? Anyway,
yes.
And we had a great time. Wound up being about a 5.5 hour event, and boy, we started off with appetizers. I made some bellinis, and then was using Prosecco to do that with instead of usually I use Asti Spumani because I wanted something a little sweeter before I put the peach in there. But we used Prosecco, so we wanted it to be very legitimate, So then had some shrimp cocktails, and I made some sautéed shrimp, and then I also made some stuffed mushrooms with crab and a cheese ball. We did all that kind of stuff, and then we had a wonderful, wonderful salad, Mediterranean salad that Marlene made, and then after that, we did a chicken, which I actually seared, and then I finished braising it in the oven. We kept it really nice and moist, and put a nice mustard sauce over the top of that. It was a creamy mustard sauce. Served that over some chicken rice that had onion and asparagus in it, with some roasted herb potatoes with herb de Provence on it. And then for a dessert, Marlene made, I don't even know what to call it. Let's call it banana surprise. She made this thing. It was phenomenal. I got to get you and Raina some of this. It was just unbelievable. But we wound up having, we had Sancerre with the salad. Of course, Marlene had Sancerre all night. And then a nice 10-year-old Bordeaux that we got from Medoc. And that was really nice. And that was by Friday. So talk about your weekend, John.
Well, Bob, first, I'm impressed that you got Bruce and Don out there in 5 hours. I've had many lunches with Bruce and Don, and that was a lunch with Bruce and Don, the 5 hour limitation. But kudos to you on doing that. But that sounds like a great evening. I had just an unbelievable evening last night as well. Good friends of ours, they actually work at Disney as well. One's the head of engineering. The other one, Jeannie. Actually, I've known Jeannie, my gosh. I've known Jeannie since 1986. And I met her. She was at the Queen Mary. We stayed together, and Jean's the one that actually got me to work with Disney. I was at the job fair looking around when I got out of that business venture with the bar in Tustin. I saw Jean. She goes, "Oh, how you doing? You got to come work for us at Napa Rose." She was one of the original managers at Napa Rose when we opened, and she got me in there. And she has this incredible Christmas party every year. I mean, they had roast beef, ham, turkey, open bar. They had Racer 5 IPA on tap. And what's funny, because we've been going to her Christmas party for like the last 5 years, and she always sets, I mean, they had like just a regular BB for a cab and everything, but she sets off a couple of bottles just for the Napa Rose crew, and where we can have some nice wine, and that is just so special, and it was just incredible. They also, because they know Raina loves dessert wine, they opened up a bottle of the Inskill and Vidal, and we had just a great evening. Just a great evening. So I tell you,
that sounds fantastic.
It was just unbelievable. But I tell you, it is just crazy outside, Bob. I thought you would be panicking because I just walked in the door, trying to get everything done. My originally from New York, so all my relatives, my family's back in New York, so I'm rushing to get my family done in Christmas shopping. Finally got it, so we're going to pack everything up tonight, and I'm going to mail it out tomorrow morning. I haven't even started for Raina. For little Avery, of course, we shop all year. We see something, Avery's going to love that.
Yeah.
It's just compulsive buying.
Yeah, but are you able to kind of stuff it away, or do you get weak and give it to her?
It all depends. I would say it's 50-50. Half we keep for Christmas, the other half we can't resist and just give it to her. If it's something I know, we go out there and say, she's going to love this. We just can't help it but give it to her right then and there, So some of it stays for Christmas. And I'm sure it's the same thing with you and your grandkids. So some of it stays for Christmas, but most of it is given when we got it because we can't wait to give it to her. But
John, I'm a lot like you. Now I've only got one gift left to buy. Of course, I've only had one gift to buy all year.
For your lovely wife?
Yeah, because she takes care of all the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, Raina is off next week, so that's going to be a big thing. She's been crazy, too. I just get busier and busier as the holidays get closer. So she's off next week, so she does a lot of the buying as well. And she helped me out on my family a little bit when she had a little free time. But I tell you, the best thing for them has become a tradition. I buy mostly just gift certificates because it's easy to ship. It's not heavy. Yeah. And two, right after Christmas, they have the big sales. So everything's 50% off. So they're getting double the gifts on top of it.
You know what, John, you know what? I got to tell you, I think that is the best thing. Instead of buying something that doesn't fit or it's the wrong color or it's got to be taken back because they don't like it, it's the perfect, you give money in the form of a card or a gift certificate and it's the perfect size. It's the perfect color. It's just what they always wanted and they're thrilled.
Well, I tell you about it. I used to mail packages with like $100 to ship out there. Now my shipping's like $20 because it's just gift certificates and stuff. Yeah. We usually do one gift they can open up. Everything else is gift certificates, and they love it because they celebrate Christmas. The next day they go out, they go shopping. And it's great. They're getting 2 for 1 as a gift, so they love it. It's a tradition now that I've been doing for probably close to 10 years now. And they know what they're going to get is gift certificates and one gift. So it's perfect that way. Yeah, I know where they love to shop. So.
And that makes it, you know what, it is perfect. And you know what? And nobody thinks bad about it. Everybody loves it.
Absolutely. Well, Bob, I have a great show lined up tonight, but, if I don't see you Thursday, I talked to you about Thursday, a good friend of ours turning 50. Yeah. If that doesn't go through, do send our love to Marlene, Bobby's family, Tiffany's family. We love you guys. If I don't see you before the holidays, happy holiday, buddy. I just wanted to get that out before we even start.
Thank you. And certainly the same to you. I'm working hard to see if I can't make Thursday a reality. So, 11 o'clock at the same old place, or we don't know yet where, right?
Well, as I say, I'm waiting for Philippe to text me back if he can do it. As long as his family doesn't have any plans for him during the lunch hour, it is on, and we'll probably do a regular place. So, okay. Tentatively put that in tentatively, and I'll let you know when Philippe gets back with me.
Yep, sounds good. So, what do we got? What do we got set for today?
Well, we've been preparing for the holidays, and actually the last 4 segments, going back to Thanksgiving, we talked about wines for Thanksgiving. What wines go great, of course, with a turkey dinner. We did wine and food pairings, we did cheese pairings. We did a segment, also on, where to get wines. Hey, I want a Chardonnay. You don't want to be looking to Temecula for Chardonnay. Where does Chardonnay grow good? So we went through, basically the whole country and even in Europe and so forth, what wines and what areas you want to pick certain wines from. Of course, Burgundy, you want Pinot. Bordeaux, you want Cab. You don't want to buy a Cab from Burgundy, basically. So we kind of, streamlined where you want to go to buy wines. And we brought up Temecula. For years, Temecula tried to grow Chardonnay and Cabernet, and they're in the Mediterranean region, and then finally realized, hey, we can grow these varietals, these Italian and Rhone varietals, and actually make a decent wine. So I kind of led you where you wanted to go for certain varietals. Last week we talked about champagne and sparkling wines. That is the wine for a celebration. Of course, the holidays, everybody starts with a little bubbly. Of course, we talked about champagne, and we talked about the label of champagnes as well. All the different things on the champagne label mean something, and we dedicated a whole half a segment basically on what the label on champagne, what you want to look for. We talked about a little more obscure varietals of sparkling wines. I mean, we've had incredible times with Prosecco. And you just mentioned Prosecco. I mean, that's probably one of the highlights of my life, going back to Italy and you know, and just enjoying a bottle of Prosecco with you and Marlene. That is just amazing, amazing times. But our good friend Franco down at the White House, he is from a little area, northern Italy, where Franciacorta is made. And we talked about that too. And today, what I thought we'd do, Bob, you know, we usually dedicate a whole segment on the top 100. But, I mean, now you can just go online, you can pull up the top 100. So I figured, why don't we just pick apart the top 100, talk about some gems, and then at the end of the evening, and you may have to stop me at the end of the evening here so we can do it, we're going to do not the wine pick of the week, but we're going to do the white pick of the week, the bargain red pick of the week, the bubbly pick of the week, and the high-end red pick of the week.
Okay, so we're going to leave 5 minutes at the end?
I don't know about 5, but yeah, at least 3 minutes at the end.
Yeah, we're talking 5.
Okay.
You're talking 5.
My friend, you know me too well, I guess, right?
Hey, if we go over, we go over. I don't care.
Hey, it's your show, Bob.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. You know, that's something that actually sounds really cool.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Do we still have? I mean, we got a little time to start it off, maybe.
You know what? We've got 6 minutes.
Okay, great. Let's get through a few wines. Okay, so let's go with the top 100. I'm going to start at number 98, Chateau Figeac. Now, we've had an incredible time in Saint-Emilion, and of course, my favorite overall wine out there, of course, is Cheval Blanc, and we had just incredible time. They treat us like we were royalty over there.
Yeah.
Chateau Petrus did not. They didn't even welcome us, but hey, what can we do?
Are you kidding? They locked the damn gates and put machine gun guards. They wouldn't let us anywhere near it.
I'm surprised they didn't start shooting at us, Bob. Yeah. I don't know, but
we'd have had a better chance at Mouton.
But we did go to Chateau Figeac, and that's always been one of my favorite right bank Bordeaux, and now is considered Class A. There was only 2 Class A Bordeaux. Cheval Blanc, of course, to me is the only Class A, but also Chateau Somme. And now Figeac is one of those Class A's, and at number 98, 2012, 93 points, Bob, but still under $100 a bottle. Where can you get a high-rated Bordeaux under 90? Actually, it is under $90 a bottle.
Yeah.
So, great bottle of wine. If you're looking for a Bordeaux, Chateau Figeac. I mean, 93 points, you can't beat it. Orange Swift. We talked about Orange Swift. We haven't had their wines on the show, but love their wines. They do the Silver Dollar, which is their cab. The Marchetti is a blend. They pull from certain areas of California. It's a California AVA, if you will, just because they pull from different areas. They can't just classify a certain area. But 2013, 93 points for $48. There's a lot of people love oral source wines, and Marchetti scored high to get that. Number 78, Bob, Chateau St. Jean. Now,
that's 78?
Yeah, number 78 is Chateau St. Jean. It's Sir Alexander Valley Cabernet. And we've talked about Chateau St. Jean back in 1996. their Cinq Cepage.
Yeah.
Now, I was still at Cal at the time. I had the Cinq Cepage on the menu. I think it was like $45 a bottle. And they were rated the number one wine in Spectator. And you saw it for $45 a bottle on the wine list, and the next day it jumped to $120 a bottle on the wine list. You couldn't get it anywhere. They tripled the price. It was just crazy, and it left a bad taste. And that's what really kills Chateau St. Jean, because they make great wines. They do. And now, because of that, they're forced to sell them at a reasonable price. But at number 78, their regular cab, the Alexander Valley cab, 2012, scored 91 points. For $30 a bottle, Bob. Great cab. As I said, they make great wine, and they just had that stigma because of Chateau Cinq Cepage. It happened. Number 75, okay, Domaine Tempier. I love Domaine Tempier. It's from Bandel. This is the rosé. And how many times have we talked about rosé on the show?
You know what? You know what? When you first brought up rosés, it kind of surprised me. And then, since then, I've shared some rosés with you that turned out I liked them. I didn't think I liked rosés. I always thought that they're kind of watered down and kind of weak, but that's not the case.
Probably the best summer wine out there. But Domaine Tempier is a little bigger rosé, but I tell you, 92 points. Usually Trevel out of the Rhone was the rosé, but I tell you, out of Bandel, Domaine Tempier, the rosé is just incredible. 92 points. A little pricey for rosé. It's $40 a bottle. We talked about Kenzel's rosé that Heidi Barrett makes at $50 a bottle. But the most incredible rosé I ever had, but you're looking at $50 a bottle, you know. So Tinquenon makes a rosé at $50 a bottle too. I haven't tried it, but I don't think it's nowhere near Kenzo. But rosés are creeping up there. Usually used to be, my God, it's a great summer wine just to enjoy, and there's some incredible ones up there. Number 72, and the reason why I'm bringing 72 up at this, it's Labo Gigondas. Now, Gigondas, you don't hear it so much because Côte Rôties, Côte Hermitage, they're the big wines from Northern Rhone. It's 100% Syrah. And it's the only Rhone that has to be 100% Syrah. Côte Rôties can be up to 15%, Marsan Roussan. Hermitages can be up to 20% Viognier and so forth. So this is 100% Syrah. You really get that Northern Rhone, that bacon fat, that animal coming off Gigondas. And for it's a 2013 vintage, 91 points, but only $28 a bottle.
Oh, there's a bargain.
Oh, I mean, if you want to get a Hermitage, you're looking close to $100 a bottle.
Yeah,
great deal. Gigondas, I mean, just like in Southern Rhone, Baccarat. I mean, Chateauneuf de Pape, you're looking close to $100 a bottle again. You can get a Baccarat for $20 a bottle.
Wow.
Just a little more than a Côte de Rhone. And it's a single area. I mean, just incredible deals if you look for them. And that's why I want to bring up Gigondas, because it's incredible.
Well, you know what? Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, okay.
And then when we come back, we'll have some more of the countdown with our own little old wine drinker, John Hansen. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're doing a countdown of the best wines with our own little old wine drinker, John Hanson. Hey, John, you got the microphone, buddy.
Thanks, Bob. Before we went on break, we were talking about Jingadas, and as I said, you never hear of Jingadas, and there's some great wines out of that area. It's really overtaken by, Côte de Rôtis and Hermitages and so forth. You have like Legel, they're single vineyards like Le Turc. You're looking at almost $300 a bottle. We can get this 91-point wine for $28 a bottle. You really get to see what Northern Rhone's all about. We're going to go down to 68. We're about a little more than a quarter through the top 100 here. And we're going to go to number 68, which is Booker Syrah. It is the Fracture. It's probably my favorite wine from Booker. I am a member at Booker. They send 6 bottles every year. Small production, but I think, I'm going to safely say, I think it's the best wine out of Paso Robles right now. It is just incredible, and it's getting the high scores. And, 94 points, 2013 Fracture. Not cheap. It's $85 a bottle. Their bottles run from about $60. The high end's $85 for the Fracture. But you really see where Pasarola is going. It is just amazing. Let's go down to number 65, Bob. Chapelet Cabernet 2012. Chapelet, okay. Maybe about 5, 6, 7 years ago, the premier land was like where Screaming Eagle, where Bond, where Tierra Roja is, and so forth, right around that area, Delaval and so forth. Right now, Pritchard Hill is where everything's at. You have Bryant, Cogan, you have Gordona, which my good friend Kenny Coda is the wine guy up there. Well, their neighbor is Chapelet, Chapelet, much reasonably priced. You're looking at Brian Cogan, $500 a bottle. Gondola at $250, $300 a bottle. This is the regular 2012 Cabernet, 93 points, Bob, $56 a bottle.
Wow.
You can't beat it. You can't. That premier, the best land in Napa Valley for $56 a bottle. Number 64, and this is I haven't tried it, and I'm trying to get a bottle. Grapes of Roth. Okay, it's a Merlot from Long Island. 2010, 92
You're kidding me.
$44 a bottle.
Well, excuse me. Are we talking Long Island, New York?
Yes, Bob. New York's more for Riesling and so forth, but this is, I gotta try this. I'm trying to dig it up, trying to find it, and trying to get it. The only problem, $44 a bottle doesn't come up. It's the triple the price to get this thing now. So, but if you can find it, grab a bottle of it, because I'm dying to try it. I mean, 92 points for Merlot out of Long Island. What can you do? Number 60, Roller Estates. That's up in Anderson Valley, Limitage, 2007, 93 points for $48 a bottle.
Jeez.
Roller Estate, Crystal Roller. I mean, you look in the wine list, Crystal Roller is going to be $500 a bottle. $48 a bottle up in Anderson Valley. If you want a bubbly, hey, you got it right there. Number 57, Altamira Cab. Frank Altamira was at Napa last week. His Sauvignon Blanc, totally different. If I was blind tasting a Sauvignon Blanc, Bob, I would never get Sauvignon Blanc. It tastes, it's nothing like in New Zealand. More herbaceous, but very round. His Sauvignon Blanc is at 14.2 alcohol. I mean, it is hot, it is heavy. There's oak on it. Delicious wine, but gosh, I don't know. I know Marley's a big Sauvignon Blanc fan. I don't know if she's going to like this. It's pretty big.
Kind of stiff.
She likes Chardonnays, too. She may love this wine. But love Frank Altamira. Great guy. His cab's always amazing. He does a lot of Italian varietals that are just spectacular. His cab scored 95 points. Under $100 a bottle, 2012. Still, great buy if you're looking for a wine under $100, a great cab under $100.
Wow.
Let's go to number 49, Bob. Felton Road Pinot Noir. Okay. Now, we had Chris on there talking about New Zealand wines and basically talked more about Marlborough, but he mentioned what Central Otago is. And the problem with Central Otago, it could be the best wine in the world. Next year it could be just so-so. They're still kind of up and down Central Otago. More of a Mediterranean climate. It's kind of strange here, but in a good year, they make by far the best Pinots coming out of New Zealand. And New Zealand's supposed to be known for their great Pinot Noirs. This is a 2013, 95 points, Bob. And
holy cow.
I've seen Pinots over $100 a bottle. This is $65 a bottle, 95 points. If you really want to see what the best from New Zealand is, Felton Road Pinot Noir 2013.
Well, you know, when I was in New Zealand, I pretty much held to Sauvignon Blancs because I mean that's what they're really known for. But this Merlot sounds fantastic.
Well, 10 years ago, they were supposed to be the Pinot Noirs coming out, and they thought maybe in 10, 15 years, the best Pinots would be coming from New Zealand. Unfortunately, I said Central Otago does produce great, but then the next year, they're so far up and down, and Marlborough is just good. I mean, they're great. Some could be really, really good, but they didn't meet their height. I mean, it's like when you go to a movie. I remember when Batman, whatever, came out, it had so much hype to it. You go and watch it. It was still a good movie, but you were let down because you had it way up on this pedestal, and it was just good. It wasn't this best movie you ever saw. It was just good, and you were kind of let down. That's kind of like New Zealand Pinot Noirs. So if you want for $65 a bottle, great price for Pinot, and you really get to see what New Zealand Pinot Noirs are going at. Number 44, and I love this wine. Piatelli Malbec. Okay, this is from Mendoza in Argentina. We have it at the glass, by the glass at Napa Rose, 2013. 90 points, Bob. $17 a bottle.
Are you kidding? What? Give me the name again.
Piatelli Malbec.
Huh.
Piatelli Malbec. And if you want to come in and try it before you buy it, we have it by the glass at Napa Rose. Okay, 90 points, $17 a bottle.
Wow.
And you really get to see what Argentinian Malbecs are all about. Okay? Number 40. This is number 40. Pomelo Sauvignon Blanc. It's a California appellation because they pull from different areas. 2014, Bob. This is Marlene's wine. 90 points. Are you ready? $12 a bottle.
Holy cow. What is this?
Pomelo, Pomelo. It's out of Santa Barbara County. That's what the wine is, but it's a California appellation because they do source grapes from other areas. 2014 vintage. As I said, it scored 90 points. It's only $12 a bottle. Marlene's going to love that wine, Bob. That's
you think they have that at Total Wines?
Yeah. If it's not sold out, as I said, once it got that high, the 40 rating, people are going to buy it. So, but they make a decent production. As I said, they source grapes, so they do make a decent number of cases. So it still probably be out there.
Boy,
but look for it.
Yeah,
okay?
I will.
Look for it. That's Marlene's wine right there. Number 35, and the reason why we did 35, of course, probably the most sought-after Chardonnay is Rumbauer. We have so many people go, do you have Rumbauer by the glass? I mean, no, this is a Chardonnay. This is a Canaro Chardonnay, 2013, scored 93 points for only $36 a bottle. For your Rumbauer lovers out there, $36 a bottle is not a lot of money for your Rumbauer Chardonnays because you pay more for the Napa Valley probably. So, great deal. That's their highest scoring wine, Chardonnay out of Rumbauer. Number 33, and here's another wine we have by the glass, and I love this wine. This is the Puissy Vale Riesling. It's a dry Riesling from Edna Valley, South Australia. And what I love about South Australian wines, Germany, you get that apple pear and you get that minerality, it's low alcohol, great wine pairing. California, you get apple pear as well, a little more alcohol to it. But South Australia, you get that lime, more citrus notes, different fruit profile that go with different items. And as I said, we do have the Puissy Vale by the glass you want to try. It is just incredible. It's a dry Riesling from South Australia, 2014, 91 points, Bob, $17 a bottle.
Holy cow.
For $17 a bottle. Mm-hmm. Number 31, is K the Creator. Now, this is a nice little blend of about 70% Cab, about 30% Syrah from Walla Walla, Washington. And that's my next area we're going to get up to.
Okay, so John, let me stop you for a second because I'm going to let you. I don't know how much time you need, but we've got 5 minutes, and we can go over. I don't have a problem with it.
Let's go over.
Okay.
Can we go over?
Yeah.
Let's go over because we're at 31, and then we have about 10 more wines to go, and I'll do my picks, and we'll be out there. How's that?
You do it.
Okay. Well, I love Washington wines. They're like the next, as I said, we did one of our first shows at this format up in Willamette in Oregon. Actually, we did it at one of the wineries up there. And hopefully I can do a show up in Walla Walla because Washington wines are really just going through it. They're incredible. But particular wine, Charles Smith's wines. And as I said, remember that name, Charles Smith Wines, because he is just incredible. Everything this guy touches is amazing. K the Creator, nice little blend, 2012, 94 points, Bob, for about $50 a bottle. If you like Washington wines, grab that one. That is incredible. Okay. Number 29. This is Tension. It's their white. It's mostly Sauvignon Blanc. And the Santa Barbara, the Central Coast, I love their whites. And we talk about kind of the obscure whites, like Pinot Blancs and Grüne Veltliners and so forth. This is their 2014, 92 points, Bob, at $20 a bottle. Great white if you're looking for a white, not too expensive. Number 21, and we already talked about this, Cloudy Bay Sauvignon Blanc out of Marlborough. That was the wine that put New Zealand on the map. 2014, still scoring 93 points for about $30 a bottle. That is still probably the Sauvignon Blanc coming out of New Zealand. Okay. Number 20. Okay. This is the Meiomi Pinot Noir out of Monterey. 2013, 92 points, Bob, $22 a bottle.
Jesus.
Number 20, at $22 a bottle, Pinot Noir Central Coast. Oh, you got to get it. It is incredible. Number 16, I did this one for you, Bob, okay? Taylor Flagate, late bottle vintage port, okay? Since you're from Portugal. 2009, 93 points for only $25 a bottle.
Really?
A port for $25 a bottle. The highest scoring late bottle vintage out of Portugal. Great deal. Number 14, and this is a guy I love. This is the Bergstrom Pinot Noir out of Riven Ridge. And as I said, we did one of our first shows up there, Riven Ridge, Dundee Hills, Willamette Valley area. And Josh probably was my favorite winemaker out there. The guy is just incredible. His Chardonnay is probably the best Chardonnay I tasted out of Oregon. Oregon, I love Alsatian whites. Right now, Oregon, Washington is where I'm going now. It is just incredible. Before it was the Central Coast. Now there's just unbelievable wines coming out of there. This is their Le Prix de Comte vineyards. Now, Josh learned his trade in France, so he developed his winemaking skills in France. 95 points. Pinot Noir out of, probably the Pinot Noir out of the Willamette area for $60 a bottle if you can find it. God bless Josh. He's incredible. We're going to get him back on the show, he promised. Number 12, and I love this winery because it's just like Whitehall Lane. They get the high scores, and they don't, what they did at Chateau St. Jean, double the price. This is the Limerick Lane, Zinfandel, Russian River Valley, always scores high. 2012, 94 points, still only $32 a bottle, Bob.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. Number 11. Now, here's another deal of the century. Big Table Farm, Pinot Noir, out of Willamette. We were just talking about Josh, Willamette Valley up there. 2012, probably the best, maybe even the best year ever since they've been making wines. Incredible. 95 points for $40 a bottle. If you like Pinot Noir, especially the Willamette area, $40 a bottle is a steal. This is 95 points. That's incredible. Let's go to number 2. We got to go to number 2. Crescita Creek, probably my favorite winery up in Washington, Columbia Valley area. They've had like 200-point wines, 2 number 1 wines. Their Cabernet, 96 points. They're $140 a bottle, but if you can get it, our good friend Bobby V, has been on our show a couple of times. He can give you any vintage you want of Crescita Creek. He has every vintage at his house. He's a big fan of that, and my God, it is just incredible. 96 points again for 2012. And the number 1 wine, of course we got the number 1 wine, but what's interesting about the number 1 wine, it's Peter Michael Cab. Now, it's not Le Pavot out of Sonoma. It is their Oakville Cab called Old Paradis, 2012, 96 points, just like Crescita Creek. It's about $200 a bottle. It's Peter Michael, though. And for those high-end people, number 1 rated wine. But what's incredible, it's not Sonoma where Peter Michael is. It is out of Napa, Oakville, area. Okay, Bob, we're going to wind the show down. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, this is it, buddy. Okay, my picks. Okay, the number 1 whites of the year. Here it is. Kung Fu Girl Riesling out of Washington. And you know who makes it? Charles Smith. Remember I told you, watch out for that name, Charles Smith. Everything this guy touches is amazing. It's a dry Riesling. It is unbelievable. $9 a bottle, Bob.
Oh, wait a minute. Give it to me again. Give it to me again, John.
Kung Fu Girl Riesling. It's Charles Smith's wine. $9 a bottle. It's going to be one of the best Rieslings you ever had for $9 a bottle. I guarantee it. All right. The low-end cab pick of the year is Provence Cabernet. You can get it at Costco for $28 a bottle. You can blind taste the master on that. They're going to love that wine, too. For you high-end guys, your wine aficionados, you probably think I'm going to say Terroir here or Roy. I'm going with the 2012 Spotwoods Cabernet, about $200 a bottle. If you're that big wine snob, big wine aficionado where money doesn't matter, I tell you, save your money. Don't get the Cogans or Bryants. Get that 2012 Spotwood. It is amazing. And my bubbly pick of the week is the Road Estate Limitage for $47 a bottle for the holidays. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I helped you out buying your wine, and we'll see you next year, my friend.
Hey, John, that was absolutely fantastic. You have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I'm doing everything I can to be able to do that, but I'll certainly let you know one way or the other. Stay safe and make everybody's life that you touch happier because they're in your life. So have a great one, buddy, and we'll talk to you. I'll talk to you on Thursday, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Happy holidays.
Same to you. Now, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to do the birthdays for the day, the secret daily teaching for your life, the Harvard business tip of the day, and interesting but useless facts. I'll give you all of that right after these brief messages.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:42 p.m. Pacific time, currently 55 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, you know what? It's time for the Harvard Business Tip of the Day. And the management tip today is, you know what? Think twice before reading negative news at work. Do you like to follow the news at work? Well, be careful what you read. Research has found that consuming negative news has a significant detrimental effect on our mood and emotions, undermining our performance for the rest of the day. Here's how to keep your performance levels up without tuning out the news altogether. Now, first up, turn off news alerts. Most alerts are negative by default, so shut off email and phone notifications for the news. If something really important happens, you'll hear about it soon enough. Don't worry about it. And cancel the noise. Turn off the radio for the first 5 minutes of your commute. When you turn it back on, don't listen to angry talk radio and mute the commercials when you can. And then finally, change the ratio. Start your day with stories about solutions and empowering people, not stories about that focus only on problems. That's not where you want to be, not what you want to do. That's just a waste of your time and everybody else's. Well, you know what? Let's do the secret teaching for your life today. And today's secret, by the way, it's all about a positive mental attitude. I'm always going to be talking about a positive mental attitude. And why would I change now? I wouldn't. Here's the secret for today. The reason visualization is so powerful is that as you create pictures in your mind of seeing yourself with what it is you want, you are generating thoughts and feelings of having it right now. Now, visualization is simply powerfully focused thought and pictures, and it causes equally powerful feelings. When you're visualizing, you're emitting that powerful frequency out into the universe. The law of attraction will take hold of that powerful signal and return those pictures back to you, just as you saw them in your mind. I'm telling you, folks, don't laugh at this stuff. It really, really works. Well, you know what today is. Sure you do. It's Monday, December the 14th, and it's somebody's birthday. Oh, yeah. And here's, this is going to kind of surprise you a little bit. This person was born in 1503, died in 1566. He was a French astrologer, and he goes by the name Nostradamus. Yeah. And here's a guy you may or may not know. He was a famous guy. He was born in 1911, died in 1965. American comedian and musician, Spike Jones. And here's somebody hopefully you all know or have heard of, or certainly you've seen some of his creations. He was born in 1922. He was the American creator of 60 Minutes. Happy birthday, Don Hewitt. Well, let's talk about what happened today, December the 14th in history. Well, in 1947, the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing is founded in Daytona Beach, Florida. We call that NASCAR, yeah. And in 1962, NASA's Mariner 2 becomes the very first spacecraft to fly by Venus. And in 2003, President George W. Bush announces the capture of Saddam Hussein. And then finally, in 2004, the Millau Viaduct, the highest bridge in the world near Millau, France, is officially open. I got to tell you, I've actually seen that bridge. I was astounded at how high it was. Now, I wasn't actually on it. I was on a road at the base of it. It is unbelievable how tall that bridge is. Well, let's talk about the quote for today. The quote for today comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." Now, isn't that prophetic? That's fantastic, and it has to be the truth, right? Well, let's talk about those interesting but useless facts. I think it's time we did that. Let's try this one on for size. Did you know that in the course of an average lifetime, you will while sleeping eat 70 assorted insects and 10 spiders? Now, tell me that's not a scary thought, right? Yeah, sure it is. It's a scary thought. I don't want to even think about it. I tell my wife about that, but she'd never sleep again. Try this one on for size. The chance of contracting an infection during a hospital stay in the United States is 1 in 15. That's a pretty high chance if you think about it. That's about a 7% chance. I don't think I like that at all. How about this one? The number one cause of blindness in the United States is diabetes. Boy, that disease takes not only lives, but can make you miserable. You got to be really, really careful. Well, how about this one? Do you know that the costume of Lion from The Wizard of Oz was made from real lions? There's a thought for you. Not sure what you think about it, but there's a thought for you. Did you know the first toothbrush with bristles was developed in China in 1498? Now, the bristles were taken from hogs at first and later from horses. The nylon bristles were developed in 1938 by DuPont. Yeah, give that a thought. Did you know that the light from your computer screen streams at you at about 186,000 miles per second? Yeah, that's the speed of light, folks. No big secret, right? Did you know that the mile is Latin for 1,000? The number of paces it took the average Roman, to go a mile. And that's actually figured that way today as well, if you think about that. You know what? Let's try this one on for size. Did you know that for most people, no matter how hard you pinch the skin on your elbow with your fingers, it doesn't hurt? I'm not going to try it. I don't care. I think that's what I'm trying to say. All right. I don't care. How about this? Did you know that Vermont, Alaska, Hawaii, and Maine are the 4 states in the United States that do not allow billboards? Now, there's something that's interesting, I think, if you think about it, right? Sure. Now, let me leave you with this one. 96% of the United States population lives within 20 miles of a Walmart. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Well, you know what? I'll give you one more. In 1976, the average human had $5.60 of chemicals in their bodies. In 1946, that number was 98 cents. Now that is inflation. So, you know what? But you're still worth more alive than you were dead if you think about it. Now, don't go away. When we come back, I'm going to answer your emails. The first one I have is from Sam McKay from Auburn, Washington. He's asking about a tax-free home gain, and I'll tell you all about that right after these brief messages. So please, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:54 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently still 55 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California, on its way to 36 degrees. I want to tell you, that's chilly, folks. I went out for my regular walk today, and I had to wear a jacket. First time I've had to do that in a long time. It was cold out there. Well, you know what? We're coming down to the wire. Time for us to answer those emails. I want to remind you that this is an entertainment section of the show, and a lot of times the information you send us is just a little bit sketchy, but we do our best to give you a comprehensive answer to your questions. We also always encourage you to contact a licensed professional. They're always going to save you more money than what they cost you, and they're going to give you peace of mind and let you sleep at night. The biggest reason is licensing requirements require they also have errors and omissions insurance. Well, that's the same thing as malpractice insurance, but it does mean that if they make a mistake, they pay the piper, not you. And I think that lets you sleep at night. Well, my first email today comes from Sam McKay. As I mentioned to you before, he's from Auburn, Washington. He's asking about a tax-free home gain, and he writes, my fiancé and I own highly appreciated homes. Can we sell one for $500,000 of tax-free gain immediately after we marry, then after 2 years do the same with the other to take a $1 million of tax-free gain in the 2 years? Well, Sam, a single person can sell a home for a tax-free gain of up to $250,000 if he or she owned the home and used it as a primary residence for 2 of the prior 5 years. Now, for a married couple, tax-free gains up to $500,000, and only one spouse must meet the 2 of 5-year ownership test, but both must meet the 2 of 5-year residency test. Now, to sell a home immediately after marrying for $500,000 of tax-free gain, you and your spouse must both have lived in it for 2 years before you got married. Otherwise, you'll have to wait 2 years after you marry to make the first sale. Now, you would then have to live in the second home 2 years before you could actually sell it. But the answer to your question is, depending on the circumstances, yeah, you could do that and get that $1 million tax-free. That's something worth thinking about. Well, next email comes from Louis Rios from Brookings, South Dakota, asking about business banking, and says, I have a small sideline business and have run its funds through my personal bank account since opening a separate account for it never seemed worth the bother. I've been told that this is asking for trouble with the IRS. Have I broken the tax law? Well, Louis, no, you haven't. There's no strict legal requirement that a business proprietor have a separate bank account for the business, but it is highly recommended that business funds be segregated in a separate bank account, and there's 2 reasons for that. First, it makes business record keeping much easier, especially for an IRS audit. And if the IRS questions whether the sideline is a real business or merely a personal hobby or avocation that's not entitled to a business deduction, a separate bank account for it as part of a business-like set of records is evidence that supports business status. So, you know what? It may not be as much trouble as you think if you think about the benefits for it. Well, next email comes from Emily Rolden from Waterloo, New Hampshire, asking about retiring abroad. And she writes, if I retire abroad in a low-tax country, will I reduce the taxes I owe on income earned from my U.S. bank and investment accounts? Well, Emily, for United States citizens, the rules for paying U.S. taxes and filing income, estate, and gift tax returns are generally the same whether residing in the United States or abroad, and whether your assets are held in the United States or abroad. Now, U.S. citizens owe U.S. tax on all income earned worldwide. Now, there is an exclusion for income earned up to $85,700 by U.S. citizens working abroad, but it does not apply to investment income. So retiring abroad to a low-tax country generally will not reduce your U.S. tax. However, Details may vary in specific situations or be affected by U.S. tax treaties with other countries. So go to IRS Publication 54, and that's Tax Guide for U.S. Citizens and Resident Aliens Abroad. And they should be able to expand on this for you. Well, my next email comes from Renee Russo from Chester, Pennsylvania, asking about funeral expenses and writes, I know that funeral expenses are deductible, but I can't find where to deduct them on the deceased individual's final tax return. Where do I deduct them? Well, Renee, funeral expenses cannot be deducted on any individual's income tax return. Funeral expenses are deductible on an estate tax return, but this saves tax only if the estate's large enough to owe estate tax. It's got to be more than $3 million. So hopefully you're going to be okay there. Well, I want to thank you for listening to Robert Cardoza Live at the intersection of business and politics. Robert Cardoza Live broadcasts on Spreaker Radio, Roar 1776 Radio, MyCast Live Radio, and countless terrestrial stations worldwide every Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And we're on 405 Media Radio every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Time. We're also on the Pundit Press, PNN Talk Radio, and SHR Media Radio with John Matthews and the Conservative Syndicate every Monday and Friday from 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. You know what? Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Podomatic, and YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com. And email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. It's where I get all the emails I deal with here on the show. On my next show, Sean LaFave continues his series, Geared for Wellness. And Suzette Mailer, she'll be here to present another case for the environment. You know what? And I want to encourage you to get our app. It's a free app. It's available to you. And when you listen to our show on that app, you can listen to our show live if we're broadcasting live. You can even chat with us if we're on the air live. Or you can listen to any of our archives. And it's the best way to listen to the show. And I'd appreciate it. The easiest way to get it, if you're on an Apple product, is to go to the Apple Store and search Robert Cardoza Live. The app is right there. Download it. It's absolutely free. And if you're on a Windows product or an Android product, just go to googleplay.com and do the same thing. Search Robert Cardoza Live, and it'll be right there for you. Now, I encourage you to tell all of your friends about my show here on the RLC Broadcasting Network.
That's our show for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then, when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed today's show as much as I enjoyed producing it for you. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Time for another installment of Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And in the meantime, I want you to stay happy. I want you to stay safe. And I want you to make everyone's life better because you're in it. And let me leave you with good night, everybody. Stay safe.